This is James Holder for IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. I'm in Miguel's gym in Brixton. Today with me I've got heavyweight Ian Lewison. What's happening, Ian? How are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Good.
It's been a little while since we caught up. How you been keeping?
I've been good, man. Just been over a year since I've last been out and just trying to get back into the training side of things. But I've been good otherwise, yeah.
What have you obviously been doing in that year to keep yourself sort of busy in the gym, and what have you sort of been going through?
Well, I've been doing bits and bobs, been training, then not training, then training, then not training, as normal as I was doing basically when I was fighting. Training, not training, training. But the only difference is this time around I haven't been fighting with it.
What's your sort of immediate plans to get back in the ring? Is there anything sort of in the pipeline for 2016?
Well, I'm hoping to get out. It's February now, so I'm hoping to get out in about April sort of times and do have a fight then about April. So that's the plan, yeah.
I mean, the heavyweight division at the moment is a sort of changing landscape even since you last fought. How do you sort of think you fit in with the sort of current crop of heavyweights?
I think it's interesting, and there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of great fights out there. So it's an opportunity for me to go out there and showcase the best of Britain, so to speak, because the domestic crop of fighters coming through is making for an interesting division. And it'll make for a load of interesting fights at the minute.
We've seen recently, obviously, Charles Martin will be defending his IBF world title against Anthony Joshua. The fight was announced yesterday. What was your sort of reaction to that?
Oh, when I heard that, I actually read it online. When I actually read that online, I thought to myself, wow, Martin's just basically sold his title to the highest bidder. He's just basically out and out giving it away to the person paying the most money, basically.
If you was Charles Martin, and obviously if he is offered that sort of life-changing money, would you have done that for your first defence, or would you have tried to pan a route that kept you sort of in contention of favourite of keeping the title, so to speak?
Me personally, if I was him, what I would have done, I would have defended against Anthony, and then I would have probably, because he's the champion, he's in the driver's seat, I would have negotiated the best amount of money, but I would have done what the Klitschko's do, probably put a rematch clause in it if it's something like that. So therefore, even if he does knock you out or beat you, you know you got a big money fight again, which is for the rematch. If he doesn't want to rematch you, he has to pay you off. So you put a clause in it.
Do you think the bookies are right in making Anthony Joshua such a big favourite for this fight, seeing as Charles Martin is the champion, even though he sort of won the belt a bit contentiously, if you like, against Glaskov, but he is the champion coming into this fight. So do you think maybe the bookies are missing a trick here? Me
personally, I think, because you've got to look at the level of fighters they've had. Kirk Johnson, basically, he's a high-rated fighter. He took Klitschko, was it 12 rounds before Klitschko stopped him? He's been around, he's fought a load of people who went 12 rounds, Derek Chisora. When you look at the level like that, and then Anthony Joshua's been fighting on that level, then when you look at Charles Martin, he fought in his last fight, who was it before this one, before he won the title, was like Tom Dallas. So when you look at the level they've been fighting at, you think to yourself, it's amazing that he even got the opportunity to fight for a world title, much less win it with a person twisting their knee. It's like, well, boy, I don't know, he's obviously got some good luck following him. Big fight that, and as I said, chance for Anthony Joshua to bring another world heavyweight title to the UK and add to the list of sort of world champions that we have. Very strong domestically as well as sort of internationally, our heavyweights at the moment. Dillian Whyte as well, talk about him, Brixton's Dillian Whyte. You'll know Dillian very well. What have you sort of made of his sort of emergence at the sort of top of the domestic scene? No, he's done brilliantly, because he's come from being out for 2 years, come back and then automatically fought 4 or 5 times. Then he's showcased a big fight in the O2 Arena in front of X amount of thousand people. You can't criticise his strategy and what he's done to get where he's got in such a short space of time. So I have nothing but respect and credit for him. David Haye as well obviously took out Mark de Marie in emphatic style the way he did. He's pending now for Heyday 2. What have you made of his sort of re-emergence in the heavyweight scene, if you like? No, it's definitely made the heavyweight scene interesting, and it's opened up a lot of big fights potentially for the heavyweight division. With Haye coming back now, that's creating a lot of excitement again, where when the Klitschko's were dominating it, it's like people deviated from the heavyweight division and went down to the lower weights. They started taking note more of Mayweather, even though Mayweather was there and he was a big part of world boxing, but it's like nobody really followed him when the heavyweights were in their peak. But I think the Klitschko's have kind of made people lose interest in the heavyweight division. Now that the Klitschko's are no longer relevant, it's created a whole new opportunity for people to go out there and watch a lot of exciting fights.
Do you think, having said that, that sort of makes Tyson Fury's achievement a lot more sort of grander, if you like, the fact that he has gone out there and defeated sort of a big hold on the heavyweight boxing scene, if you like?
Basically, yeah, no, you can't not criticise Tyson Fury's achievement, because the fact is he was undefeated for 10 years as champion. He beat the best who was put in front of him. But my theory on it is, or my own opinion on it is, Klitschko has built a style based upon fighting people smaller than him, because his strategy and his game plan going into every fight was jab, right hand, jab, hold, jab, right hand, hold, push down. You see it perfectly, prime example of what I'm talking about when he fought Alexander Povetkin. He held him however many times. All he does is jab, hold, jab, hold, jab, hold. And with Tyson Fury now, he weren't able to do that because the guy, Tyson Fury, was actually taller than him. So, in effect, he's actually gone out and fought, and he's had to formulate a whole new plan from start, where he's never had to deal with that style or that before, fighting someone bigger than himself. So he's had to do what every other smaller heavyweight's done against him.
In the heavyweight division, obviously, you're only a couple of fights, 2 or 3 fights away from a big fight, a big domestic clash. Have you got one eye on sort of gate crashing these big fights in?
Like I've said it all along, I'll fight anyone at any given time. The fact is, just make the opportunity come my way, and I'm up for the challenge, and I'll definitely do it. Because it's true, the opportunity is there. Perfect example is Charles Martin. Like I've already said, he's gone from fighting on small shows. Next thing, he's world champion. Dylan White was fighting on local shows. Then he's gone to fight Anthony Joshua at O2 Arena in front of, 50,000 people, however many it was. So, yeah, you're right. You're always one fight away from a big fight.
Big eyes on some big fights for you 2016, or is it a case of trying to get some momentum up and then look at what sort of opportunities are out there?
Basically, yeah, I just want to get a couple of fights under my belt this year. Like I said, I want to be out in April, get a fight under my belt. Then I'm up there. I'm willing to fight whoever. I don't mind. I'll pick up my bag and go wherever. I don't mind. I'll fight whoever. Give me decent notice, 6 weeks. I'll jump on it. I'll fight anyone.
Speaking of opportunity, I want to talk to you a little bit about Amir Khan taking on CANELO Alvarez. Big fight, massive fight on the world stage. What was your initial reaction when you heard the news that that fight was going to take place?
Well, when I heard that, I thought to myself, Amir Khan better turn up with a shotgun. That's what I thought, because, boy, that's a big fight. Like you say, Canelo is such a big guy. Amir Khan has speed, but the fact is he's been knocked out by guys that are at a smaller weight, and therefore he's going up a couple of weights to fight a guy who is a big puncher. So it makes you think to yourself, is he coming? He must be coming in full tactical clothing? I don't know. Or he's going to turn up in his Asics trainers and just run. I don't know. Makes you think to yourself, what is his strategy? But probably Canelo will probably knock him out. But that's my opinion, yeah.
At 155, technically jumping up 2 weights the way he is, and with Canelo's tendency to come in so big the night of the fight, do you think that's sort of a huge risk for Khan?
No, it definitely is, because like I stated, and I reiterate, yeah, he's been knocked out by guys that are smaller than Canelo. So to go and challenge someone who is such a big guy and who turns up on a day at such a heavier weight than he weighed in the day before, who is a puncher also, that is definitely a big challenge. But I honestly believe for this fight, Amir Khan should get sponsored by Asics, because I guarantee he's going to be doing a lot of running in this fight.
Admiration for Amir Khan, as a boxer and as a boxing fan, for stepping up and taking possibly one of the biggest fights that he could have taken.
Yeah, definitely admiration, but you got to think he's putting together his retirement plan, isn't it? And that's basically what it comes down to. Regardless of how big the risk is, you got to weigh up the risk to reward ratio. And when you think about it, he's fighting a big guy, yeah, who he can get knocked out against, or he could fight a smaller guy in the form of Kell Brook and get knocked out. But when you think of the rewards financially, to me, Canelo would have been the financially better fight, especially in the sense of when you're talking later on, maybe he's got 3, 4 fights left in him, maybe 2. So when you think about putting away for the future, yeah, that's definitely the fight to think of.
Win or lose for Amir Khan, do you think the Kell Brook fight will still be there, and maybe not as big as it initially was, depending on the outcome of his fight against CANELO Alvarez, but the Kell Brook fight will initially still be there?
Yeah, it'll definitely be there, but it's a matter of, to me, whether it be there, it'll be down to the performance in which Khan puts up. If he goes in there and gets knocked out in 1 round, then there'll be no credibility in him fighting Kell Brook. But if he puts up a good fight for 11 rounds, runs, holds, boxes him, uses speed, whatever, gets knocked out in the 11th, 12th, maybe 10th or 9th, and it's an even fight up until that point, then definitely the fight with Kell Brook would be a credible fight.
What have you made of Floyd Mayweather's Junior's UK tour? And you look a bit like Mayweather if he was on the sort of protein diet for a couple of months here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll wash out his bank account, yeah. That's it, mate. If I look like him, what you reckon I could pass from going into the bank, yeah?
I reckon you could if we beefed him up a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. No, he's been over here doing his thing, he's showcasing himself and basically going out there, getting himself out there while he's retired at minute, yeah.
Good that he's sort of in the UK. What do you make of the fact that we've read reports it's sort of costing a lot to sort of go and get pictures of him, etc., etc. Do you think that's right? Do you think that's wrong?
Well, if he's the guy he stays he is, which is the people's champion, and he is the guy that is the guy who is the undisputed champion, it shouldn't be a factor of costing so much. He should be a guy who's just willing to come up to you. If he sees you in the street, take a picture of you, sign an autograph. He should be the people for the people, the one who's elected by the people, who'll be recognised as the people's champion, like Muhammad Ali, all them sort of guys who are idols and been doing it and who are highly respected legends. You see them in the street, you ask them for a picture, they don't ask you to get paid for it. Their duty as legends is to basically do that.
With that said, that's great, but if you are sort of turning up to an event that's been marketed sort of around you where, I don't know, like promoters are earning sort of money from it, do you think it's right that it is so high, the prices, or do you think people should do that for free?
No, the fact is, if people are willing to pay it, then obviously charge it. If something's only worth what someone's willing to pay. If you charge £1,000, you put £1,000 price on a ticket and someone's willing to pay it, then by all means charge it.
All right, well, listen, Ian, it's great to get you on the channel. It's been a little while since we sort of had a chance to have a chat with you and get you back on and that.
No, it's great to be back here now, and I'm back in the gym again, yeah. So hopefully April I'm back out again, so hopefully there'll be more of me to come.
Thank you for talking to iFold TV today, mate. It's great to see you again, and I'll catch you again real soon.
All right, thanks, James. Great speaking to you.